You know we got Islam number 4 on the do list, so we like Islam Makhachev dearly. I mean, the only guys above him are Pereira, John Jones, and Hamza Chimaev. So, Islam's the guy. And but Renato Moicano, you can't count out a Brazilian, and you can't count out a guy that gets an opportunity that he knows he might never get again, right? Renato Moicano may have never got another title fight. Could. He's on that trajectory right now, right? But he may not ever get there, and now you get thrusted into the situation. Don't count this guy out, man. And he's Brazilian. You guys know how I feel about the Brazilians. I mean, anything can happen here. So let's jump right into the prediction. We just got this done, didn't even post it yet. You're seeing it first right here. So let's dive into it. This is Islam Makhachev versus Renato Moicano. In the lightweight division for the lightweight division title at UFC 311, you're seeing this right. Islam Makhachev takes on Renato Moicano as Arman Tsarukyan has pulled out. And this is about as short as notice as you can get, but luckily Renato Moicano was set to take on Beneil Dariush, so he is ready to go. So let's get into it. Makhachev 26-1, the champ, taking on the Brazilian. That's the key word, ladies and gentlemen. Brazilian. Moicano is 20-5. Moicano 1 inch taller at 5'11. He's 35. Okay. Still right there, right outside the prime window, but he's still in his prime, I'd say. Makhachev right there at 33. Moicano 1 inch reach advantage, 72-71. He fights right-handed. Makhachev fights southpaw or left-handed. Money Moicano 4.4 significant strikes per minute to 2.7 for Islam, but you know Islam has a takedown game, more than 1 takedown on average per round. Moicano lands like 2 every 3 rounds, so not bad. Islam 90% takedown defense. Moicano 72%. That's not bad, but will that hold up? Islam, as we discussed leading up to the Arman Tsarukyan fight. I mean, he beat Dustin Poirier last time out by submission, beat Volkanovski twice, once by KO, most recently in the first round, first time by decision. He's had 9 takedowns in the last 3 fights. So that's the key. 9 takedowns in the last 3 fights, and this is what we've become accustomed to. Now, Volk did outstrike him in the first fight, but after that, he led 24-4. He had enough. He put him away quick. Poirier 88-74 in significant strikes, 5-0 in takedowns. So Moicano has won 4 in a row, right? That's why he's on the big stage, beating Brad Riddell, submission, Drew Dober, decision. That's a tough fight. Jalen Turner, KO. That was a big one. Benoit Saint Denis, KO. So now, he's right up there with Dustin Poirier. I mean, this guy is capable of finishing people. And I remember, when he was KO'd by the Korean Zombie back in the day, I was like, that was one of the best KOs I've seen at that point in time. And it seemed like Money Moicano was done. I mean, he would go on to lose to Rafael Fiziev by KO, RDA by decision, dominated there, 5 takedowns to none. So it's not going to be an easy situation, but this is a tough fight for Islam Makhachev because all of a sudden you got a different opponent, different game plan. This guy is more of a striker, but you can take him down and control him that way. I think it's going to be very interesting, but listen, ladies and gentlemen, I can't go against Renato Moicano. Forget about it. This is a bad dude. I can't go against Islam Makhachev. Forget about it. I mean, this guy's a bad dude. It's just the bottom line, right? Moicano is a bad dude as well, but not on the same level as Islam. Now, if he wins, I'm going to be jumping around, going crazy, tell you how dumb I was, for lack of better words, to go against a Brazilian, right? But Islam right now is surged to a 12-1 favorite, but everybody's going to be tuning in to see Renato Moicano going into a fight, and all of a sudden you're thrusted into the main event for the title. Money Moicano is going to be pumped up, and anything is possible. I will tell you that in this fight, anything is possible. If Islam can't dominate the ground game, certainly Renato Moicano can strike with the best of them. So keep that in mind as this fight goes on. But we got Islam Makhachev, number 4 in the dude list, winning the fight here, keeping the belt, lightweight division, main event, UFC 311. And you know what? You got to give it up to Islam too, because, you know, it's not guaranteed that he's going to fight, right? Dana White had to go ask him. He could easily say no. But Islam, and not that I quote, I'm paraphrasing, I'm the champ. And the champ is basically always ready to fight against anybody. So on one day's notice, the champ is taking on a different opponent who is very capable of beating him. Renato Moicano can lose fights, obviously, but he can win any fight against any person on the planet with one punch. And that's why I like this fight. Now, yeah, Islam is probably going to dominate him on the ground, but at the same time, again, Money Moicano could land one punch and finish a fight at any time against anybody. So that's why I'm excited about this fight. That's why I'm excited. And the time is now to see what happens. I just can't. It's unbelievable that this is happening at the last minute in the main event. Total surprise. But my heart's pumping. I'm excited. And I can't wait to see what's going to happen, quite frankly. I mean, I really cannot wait to see what's going to happen. Sir Forever says Islam by submission first round. Very possible. But, you know, and listen, his takedown game and grappling skills is superior to anybody. But what I will say is Moicano has decent takedown defense. That's the first thing I noticed. And he's Brazilian, which I always say at worst, they're average to good on the ground, right? So maybe he can stack up with Islam here. Probably not, but maybe. And that's kind of why we're going to watch now. I mean, we're going to want to see what's going to happen. 49ers faithful was 15 minutes before weigh-ins, laugh out loud. Yeah. And what that, you're right. And what that means is Moicano, which may not seem like a big deal, but it is, can't weigh in at 156, right? He's got to weigh in at 155. And does anyone know if he already weighed in? I mean, I'm going to try to look this up. Did Moicano already weigh in? Because we got to make sure that he made weight. I'm sure if all this news is coming out, he probably did make weight, or else we would definitely know by now. But still, it's a different situation when you got to make weight. And I'm not seeing any results yet for Islam Makhachev and Moicano. Oh, here we go. Okay, Moicano made weight. 154.5 for Makhachev, 155 for Moicano. We got a title fight on our hands. And you see, I'm just getting off work. I don't even know what's going on with all the weigh-ins and all that stuff until right now. So I appreciate y'all getting into the chat room, keeping us up to date on anything we don't know. Um, you know, it takes a minute just to get the live stream pulled up and get set up and all that. So I didn't have time to go research anything other than see someone's chat or a comment, look it up, and I'm like, boom, it's on. Let's get the prediction done. Let's get on it. Let's get on it. 49ers faithful, just in case. Dana said he was the backup fighter, so he made the weight. Okay, I gotcha. Super late notice. We are lucky we got any event, for sure. Hamza Boris Chimaev superfan says, crazy. Moicano time. Money Mike, baby. Not Money Mike. Money Moicano. Money Mike, baby. Money Moicano. What's he going to do? What is he going to do? And my first thought was like, this is great. And then I'm like, oh man, every video that I have is Islam versus Sarukian too. Then I got to go back in every video and change the tags and all. Oh my goodness. But at the same time, I'm super excited. I know the UFC fan base is, once they, you know, are like, darn, I really wanted to see that fight. And they come to realize, okay, now we get Moicano. Yes, Islam is a huge favorite, but that don't mean he's necessarily going to win. And I'll take a striker with decent takedown defense, quite possibly a good ground game, not necessarily to match up with Makhachev, who may just submit him in 2 minutes, who knows. But hopefully good enough to be able to, you know, stay alive on the ground through the first round. Get opportunities to be on the feet 2 or 3 times. And if you're Moicano, yeah, you got to be worried about the takedowns, but you're getting a title shot. I'm just going for the KO. Even if I give up a takedown, I know you can't go in there with Makhachev and be worried about takedown. He's coming regardless. Okay, he's coming. Just like Khabib, he's coming. You got to go in there and get the finish as quick as possible and try to land a big shot before he can even get the takedown. Easier said than done, but that's how you beat Makhachev, if it's even possible. King Terzi, if Moicano wins, what happens next? Armand Charles rematch, 5 rounds now. If Moicano wins, immediately Islam gets the rematch because he took the fight on 1 day's notice, so there's an out there. He won't use that as an excuse, but that'll be the excuse to get him a rematch immediately. So you already know if Moicano wins, that rematch is happening. The lightweight division is on hold for 6 months and quite possibly throughout the rest of the year. Then you start to look at the rest of the division. Yeah, Armand versus Charles. Charles already has a fight set up. For the life of me, I can't remember who it's against, so he's got to win that fight. And then we go from there. But this opens up, if Moicano wins, it changes everything in the sense that it just puts the division on hold because Makhachev will get a rematch. Cocoa Butter says, I like to see Moicano steal it. And I like that you use that word steal. Cocoa Butter, I like that you use the word steal. Because when the contender wins the belt, I always say they stole the belt. And people get crazy when I say that. What do you mean stole the belt? He didn't steal the belt. He won it fair and square. No, I'm saying when the contender wins, we're always surprised. Because you're facing a champion. So when you're the contender and you win the belt, as Cocoa Butter said, that's my backup. Okay. So for now on, when y'all get on me, I'm going to say Cocoa Butter says so. Okay. Cocoa Butter said, I like to see Moicano steal it. And that's what I'll say if Moicano wins the belt. He stole the belt. Because most people are expecting Islam to win. Most people are expecting the champion to win. And when you hear and new, to me, that means the belt was stolen because they always say in fighting, you got to beat the champion. You can't tie the champion. You're going to lose. You got to beat the champion, and therefore you steal the belt, in my opinion. 49ers faithful, I would love to see Moicano pull it out somehow. I know, in the back of my mind, as much as I like Islam, I'm like, God, I would like to see Moicano beat him. Then we get the rematch, and basically nobody else is fighting for the lightweight title until 2026. That's what that means. If Moicano wins, the lightweight division is on hold until we get an ultimate winner between the two, and that will carry us through 2025 because that fight won't happen until June, July, August for sure. Hamza Boris Chimaev superfan says Islam's 4th fight in short notice. You're right. Volk, Moicano, Hooker, Green. Dang. That's how you become a legend, man. Great fact right there. Sounds like everyone wants Moicano to win. On the prediction, I'm like, Islam's going to win, right? That's Islam. He's number 4 on the dude list. We're not going against that. Islam wins the fight. But in the back of my mind, I'm like, God, I'd like to see Renato Moicano steal the belt. We have seen this all before, he says. The guy with nothing to lose always fights hard, whether he wins or not. I know. And who is the one, and was it on short notice? Gosh, man, Khabib fought, what was his name? And it ended up, everyone thought it was going to be an easy fight. I don't remember if it was short notice, but it went the distance, I'm pretty sure, really late in the fight. And Khabib won, but it wasn't easy. And this could be one of these situations because you're right. Al Iaquinta. Yes, sir. Terzi. Yes, sir. Khabib fought Al Iaquinta on day notice. Yes, on one day notice. That was the fight. And Al Iaquinta came in, and it was like he didn't win. And I don't remember how it finished, if it was a decision or a late submission. I'm pretty sure it was a decision, but you're like, man, this thing is a tough fight here.